So I want to share with you a story that kind of brings all of this to life. I'm going to go back a couple of years. I was teaching a class in the city of Las Vegas. And you have to understand, in the city of Las Vegas, we have taught thousands of classes. We have thousands of people who have come through our inclusive leadership course. And so there's a woman who shared this story. It was the morning of day 2 of class, and she was sharing with her class how she applied the learning that she took out of class. And it happened to be the Sawa Bona story. And so she shared with everyone that when she left class that night, she was on her way home and she was stopped at a red light. And she said, as we were introducing the Sawa Bona story, she was thinking about the fact that she would never speak to a homeless person. She would never bring a homeless person into existence. And what she said was, she said, you know what, I'm from Vegas, shame on me. You know, I shouldn't think that way. She said, but I tend to think that when somebody's homeless, they've gambled their money away or they've drank their money away. And I wanted absolutely nothing to do with them. She said, but as you were introducing the spirit of Ubuntu, I wanted to put it into practice. And she said, when I was driving home last night, I got stopped at this light. And I happened to be the 5th car back from the light. And she said there was a homeless guy who was begging for money at all of these cars. And she said, I watched him approach the first 2 cars. And she said she couldn't see what was happening inside of the car, but she said they must have done what I had done every other day that I had been stopped at that very same light. She said they would approach my car, I would roll up my window, I'd pretend like I was on my phone, and I would look the opposite direction. I wanted absolutely nothing to do with them. The homeless gentleman or whoever it was that was begging for money that day was completely invisible to me. And so she said, they must have done the exact same thing. And she said, the only reason why I thought that is because I just watched his body language. And he looked defeated. He looked like he had been punched in the gut. So she said, then she went to the 3rd car. And she said, I couldn't really see what was happening in that 3rd car. She said, but again, I watched the homeless guy. And he looked like he had been punched in the gut. You know, she said, my heart started to break. She said, because I saw myself doing this every other day. So she said, then he started to approach the 4th car. And she said, I watched him take a couple of steps towards that 4th car, but then he stopped himself. He didn't even bother approaching the 4th car because he already knew that he was going to be treated as if he was invisible. And so she said, I rolled down my window, I called him over, I gave him a couple of dollars, and I said to him, Sawa Bona. And she said, I don't know why I said Sawa Bona. I didn't necessarily expect him to understand it. She said, but it was in my heart, and that's what I wanted to say to him. And so she said Sawa Bona to him, and here was his response. His response to her was, Sikona. He said, thank you for seeing me. He gave her back the couple of dollars, and he said, what you just did for me was worth so much more than these couple of dollars. And as she's telling us this, she's now overwhelmed with emotion. She's in tears. She's like, oh my gosh, you know, did he come through class? Because who the heck knows this whole Sawa Bona Sakona thing? You know, everybody started laughing, but I never forgot, you know, that story because I always think to myself, man, you know, could he have been in one of, you know, our classes? You know, I think about, you know, Las Vegas over the past couple of years. We started teaching there in the year 2000. When 9/11 happened, hundreds of people lost their jobs. When the economy tanked a few years later, thousands more lost their jobs in the city of Las Vegas. So is it possible that he was sitting in the seats working for a great organization, getting training? It's possible. And then life happened. The reality is none of us know where the journey of life is going to take us. And what she chose to do on that day was simply bring another human being into existence. It did not just make him feel good. It also made her feel good. So this whole Sawa Bona Sakona thing is about a gift that we can give to another human being. And in doing so, we also receive. So here's your challenge. Your challenge is to embrace the principle of the spirit of Ubuntu. Make it a part of who you are. Make it a point to see everyone.